Hello everyone. The morning after the match before. A very important match for me, actually, from a personal point of view. It, for me, was the first opportunity I've had to go to football with not only my son and my son-in-law, but two of my grandsons. So, due to me, they now will have to suffer for the rest of their lives being Tottenham supporters. So not just one generation, but actually two generations. It's a legacy that I'm going to carry on with me until my last breath. But yeah, actually it was, believe it or not, it was quite emotional for me. I was sat in the south stand and I had my son next to me, my two grandsons, and my son-in-law, who just happens to be a Tottenham fan as well. And we were all together and it felt really cool to have that. And that for me is what football is all about. I know that sounds really stupid, but for me that's what it's about. It's about family, it's about belonging, it's about legacies, it's about sharing something as a group, a love of something that has no reason to have your love, but it does. So anyway, yeah, good day for me. I was really, really pleased to be able to go there. It was a long day. Went up on the train, left at 9 o'clock in the morning. Didn't get home until midnight with a 5:30 kick-off, which is a bit of a pain all the way back to sunny Dorset. But it was great to be there, and the boys had a good time. Got to see a couple of goals from Tottenham, and actually got to see Harry Kanes play, something that they'll be able to remember for the rest of their lives, in the same way I can remember, seeing some of the great players that we've had over the years that they will never have seen live. So, yeah, really good day. Anyway, overall, poor result, ends up in a loss. Another trophy, not one, but Harry Kane, listen, they've given the mean people a lot to do, hasn't he? Winning his first trophy at White Hart Lane. So that'll be fun for all of those people to be banding all that crap about. But hey, it is what it is. We carry this issue with us. But looking at the game, overall, I've got to be honest with you, I wasn't as disappointed as I thought I might be. We started off quite well. We were pressing and pushing, and forced a mistake in the first sort of minute of the game for Kulu to put one in the net from an unlucky bounce back from the Bayern defender, give the goalkeeper, no chance, and Kulu bounced on it, got the goal, and we were off, and we were like, wow, this could be our day. Could we actually see us winning against a pretty decent top team in European football? But as it turns out, three very poor defensive situations led to us being 3-1 down before the end of the first half. Despite, if I'm being honest, a few decent little cameos. I felt that Jed Spence playing on the left actually did some quite good stuff. He was he nutmegged a couple of players a couple of times and did some good mazy runs and really pushed on and looked like a Tottenham player. However, defensively, he was on the left, and looked to me like a lot of the situations occurred with the ball going to the back post, to the left, and not as well defended as you would like it to. Obviously, the second goal, absolute balls up from Vicario, playing it short, out from the back, which Ange likes us to do, draws players in and all the rest of it. But you've got to be confident on it, and the players are a lot more confident about it than the supporters, that's for sure. Because most of us had our heads in our hand watching this kind of going on, thinking, Jesus Christ, this could be a nightmare with a good team pressing you and you not reacting as quickly as you could do. But yeah, so very kind of there were some good things in the first half, but not as good as you wanted to. And then being 3-1 down, you just think to yourself, oh, here we go. It's a bit of a disaster, and could get worse. Fortunately, half-time comes along, and rings the changes, and brings on a lot of youth, And it's the first time for me seeing players like Archie Gray, Bergvall, trying to think of the other names, Mikey Moore, getting into the swing of things. Benton Core also came on and looked a lot more assured. I did think that in the first half, I did think that Bissouma looked quite good. I thought he was doing quite well, but maybe just needed a little bit more confidence, a little bit more time on the ball than they were allowing him. He did have a couple of bursts through, which was good to see, because he's been the disappointment at the back end of the season. Anyway, I'm digressing. Bentancur come on, thought he did okay, thought he did quite well, controlled it in the middle there. Good to see Destiny back as well. I thought he looked a lot more assured on that left side, and that seemed to be a lot a lot more stable. I think Jed Spence is more of a right back than a left back, but I know that he essentially can play in both positions. But yeah, second half I thought we played a lot more attacking football. There was a lot more pressure on the ball. There was a lot more effort to get there. And I have to say, first impressions of Archie Gray, he looks absolutely quality to me. I'd say I wasn't expecting an 18-year-old to go straight into the team. But clearly, from Ange's point of view, he looks like he is the sort of player that would go into the squad, if not the first team week in, week out. He certainly looks like a player who's going to come in and push those around him for a position, for a starting place. Same with Bergvall as well. I thought he looked really, really good as well, which was really pleasing to see, because we're all talking about these unknown young kids coming in, and are they going to be what we need, when we know we need quality, and we need depth. Are we going to rely on these young kids? Because we've seen it so often, haven't we, where young kids come in with all this promise that end up being a dud and getting moved on, getting loaned out and constantly and stuff like that. We've got Brian Hill, who's going to be the next best thing, who's now being loaned out. You've got Vides, who's come in, who's going to be our striker, who's now been loaned out. And it's kind of a recurring theme that seems to come on, and that's what puts a lot of Tottenham fans off of the fact that we were investing in youth. I think we need to invest in youth, obviously, because you can't just plan for today. You've got to plan for the longer term. We need depth. We need squad. We need a vision. We need a longer term vision that's going to see us through. We can't just look at this season and go, that's it, job done. This has got to be for the long term. And I think that's what probably Ange has been about the whole time. He's talking about the longer term, winning silverware on a consistent basis, not just winning a cup for the sake of winning a cup. You win a Carabao Cup, what does that do for you? Nothing in the overall scheme of things. But if you win the Carabao Cup, then win the FA Cup, then win the Europa League, then you win the Champions League or the Premier League, and you're challenging for these titles on a consistent basis, that's where you want to be. You want to be the Man City of the future, or even like the Man United of the past, or whatever. You want to be getting those results on a consistent basis, and that's what we want to do. And youth is where you get that. But the disappointing thing from our point of view is, is that going to be enough? So, of course, the other big news that happened on the day was Dominic Solanke being unveiled as a Tottenham player. Big mixed bag on that. Dominic Solanke coming from Bournemouth, one season wonder, all that kind of stuff. 65 million quid, including add-ons. A lot of money for a player to score goals. And a lot of people calling it out, saying they would rather have Ivan Toney, or they'd rather have this one or that one, or whatever. But listen, it is what it is now. The deal's been done. Dominic Solanke is now a Tottenham player. So what we want to do is we want to support him, right? As of making this video, I haven't seen anything about Richie leaving. So does Richie stay as the backup? Do they share it? Is that competition going to be good for Richie, who we know can score goals when he's in the right place and he's not injured? He's struggling very much for injury and so on. But is that going to continue? We don't know. So listen, like from my point of view, listen, if Dominic Solanke can score 19 goals for a Bournemouth side that was struggling in the bottom half of the table, then the potential is, if he can get the service, if he can get the service from Sonny out on the left and Johnson or Kulu or Archie Gray, whoever it is, from the right, and Maddison from the centre, Bergvall from the centre, if he could get those opportunities, we know he can score goals. So does that give him a better opportunity to score goals than potentially he had at Bournemouth? Time will tell. I mean, we can all call out the Harry Kane one season wonder thing. We used to sing it all the time. Could this be the right man for us? I don't know. Time will tell. You could be disappointed, absolutely. You could have wanted a different player or whatever, but it is what it is. If he's a dud, he's a dud, and then we have to call it out, and we have to go back to the recruitment and say, your numbers are not correct, because as I understand it, it's all now about the numbers. It's all about the data, rather than just picking a player for the sake of it. And we got that when you consider the signings of Vicario, for instance. And there is a heavy influence on youth, with Solanke being younger than Ivan Toney. We'll just have to see. I'm not going to pass judgment on it until I see him play, see how he does, see what kind of work effort I get from him, and so on. And the other thing as well, I guess, which I know that Ange has made a big thing about, is you have to have the right player. They have to be the right player for the club, and that includes their attitude and their behaviour and their work ethic and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that's what Ange is seeing. Maybe Ange is seeing something that he really likes. And if he really likes him and he wants him, then who are we to judge? I don't play FIFA and all that kind of stuff. I know my grandson does, and he could tell you every player where they should be and who he would have in and who he wouldn't have in. Indeed, he was doing that as we was walking up Seven Sisters, telling me who should be playing today and who shouldn't be playing and why. And he knows all this because of FIFA, and he's 10. So he'll probably do better on his podcast than I do. Anyway, just some thoughts. Nice to see Harry Kane back. Nice to see him get a good reception. Same for Eric Dyer, because these guys have done something that we've all dreamed of, which is playing for the mighty Spurs. Gave their service. They've not let us down. They've done their best, whatever that best might be. And you want to leave them with a love for your club in the same way that you love your club, rather than a hate in the time that they've had there. So yeah, I'll leave it there. I don't think there was too much more to say. It's a pre-season friendly. The league starts next week, so let's see where we go from there. Whether there'll be any more signings or not, I don't know. We shall see. I'm not in the know and all that kind of stuff, but we'll see where it goes from here. Thinking about starting a little chat podcast-ish type thing with a couple of guys that I speak to all the time at football. Looking to do that maybe this week. So we'll see how that goes. See if it works. See if anyone likes it, dislikes it. Yeah, it'll be interesting. But watch out for that. But anyway, listen. That's my update for the weekend. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. If you want to give a thumbs up and all that sort of stuff, I think from what I understand, that helps the algorithm and all that kind of malarkey. So if you want to give it a like, please do. If you don't subscribe, please do, because I'm losing my subscribers. I don't know if it's something I said or just me aftershave, but we'll see. Anyway, sorry for the ramble. Thanks again. I'll catch you on the next one. Up the Spurs.